So last video, I talked about Buster and his first tournament with Cloud9 where he really didn't look very good. But in this video, we're going to take a look at Pro League. Cloud9 obviously went 3-0. Has he improved? Have things changed? What does everything look like? That's what we're going to break down in this video. So to start, the first thing is he really does have all of the support roles. If someone needs boosting, he's boosting for them. A Shiro needs a flash, he's throwing that flash. He really just has all the boring stuff like holding mid on Vertigo and jump spotting B on Mirage, all that kind of stuff, all that stuff, T side, CT side, all the very boring, just hold your ground stuff that's needed for a team, but isn't very fun to do. But let's take a look at his play in this tournament. Overall, I think we have seen a pretty big improvement in his play. His actual shooting is looking better, like he's hitting more headshots, he's looking snappier, looking more comfortable in those kind of situations, getting more kills. He won a couple clutches. Just overall, his shooting performance does look like it has improved from last tournament to this tournament. One big thing I noticed is that his patience has really improved. You see this a number of times where he's getting in engagements where in the last tournament he would press, he would try and get the double kill, try and get the triple kill, and end up dying, losing the sight, and kind of losing rounds because of that. In this tournament, he would get into engagements, back up. There was multiple times where him and Axel were working off of each other. One on Mirage on B site where he gets a kill, backs up, kind of lets Axel take the next kills because they're expecting Buster to be where he is. Another time top mid on Inferno, lets the other player get some other kills top mid because all the attention's towards him. Just much better patience overall from Buster, and just looked a lot more comfortable in those situations, which he looked very uncomfortable with in the last tournament. So very good improvement in that area. He didn't have a lot of missed utility. I did see one time on Vertigo where he went to throw a smoke, didn't know it, dropped it to Shiro, and then Shiro threw it. Other than that, his utility usage looked good, wasn't missing a lot, wasn't screwing up and having to have players be forced to move because he threw a utility wrong, stuff like that. Overall, it looks like he really worked on his utility. He has stuff that he does consistently and is hitting those and seems to have really improved in that aspect as well. A lot of the misses also could have been down to like first tournament jitters or nerves or things like that that might have contributed to other stuff as well. Might just feel more calm now. He also does a really good job on making sure that no angle is going unchecked. So his role a lot of the times can become a lurker, especially on T side or on CT side. He's holding down a specific area of the map, and then if they execute elsewhere, he then has to make his way to that area. And he does a really good job of when he's making his way around the map to these different areas of checking all the angles and making sure that he doesn't get shot in the back or someone isn't hiding in an unexpected spot. That is something he is doing a very good job on round after round when he's doing it, making sure he doesn't get caught off guard. There still does need to be some work on communication, it seems. Like in this round on Vertigo, he could be just chatting with Hobbit here, or he could be just waiting on execute. It's hard to know with communication. He's probably just waiting on an execute, but it did look a little bit strange, so I put it in here. And one example of good comms was on Inferno on round 5, where it's a 2v2 after plant, and they come in and they know that Buster has the kit, so the second that the player dies, Buster runs to defuse. Shiro doesn't even attempt to defuse. They know Buster has the kit, he's got it. That was an example of good communication. Also on Inferno, there was a round where Shiro is peeking arch side, and he goes to pull out a flash, but then doesn't throw it. And if he throws a flash at like any point in this engagement between Shiro and Nico, Shiro gets a free kill because Nico's just staring at him the whole time. So what's like the communication there? Is he not calling for it, or why didn't that not get thrown? Kind of another interesting situation. Overall, the comm situation seemed to be much better than it did last time. There were much fewer times where it just seemed like he had no idea what he should be doing. Still, from last time, I think his crosshair placement needs a lot of work. I think he spends a lot of time with his crosshair in dead areas. Like, for example, in this round on Vertigo, round 1, he just has his crosshair staring at the E-box, where if someone was to come, he would have to flick, where his crosshair should be in those areas where people can come unexpectedly. I understand putting your crosshair there to kind of quick peek and angle, like if you're setting your crosshair up because you know that's exactly where it's going to be. But in those other times, you need to be having your crosshair where players are going to come because they could be coming at unexpected times or whatever. And if you have to flick a third of your screen versus a player who's peeking and holding their crosshair on you, you're going to lose that battle unless you hit an insane shot. It just makes your life much harder, and he does this all the time. And there is times when he has been punished where he's staring at a wall, going to peek a specific angle. A player isn't where he expects, then he's trying to flick down to them, misses the spray, and dies. So he just needs to do a better job of making sure that his crosshair is in spots where if someone peeks, he's ready to go, and not just holding it on these different areas where if someone peeks, he's then doing huge flicks trying to land these shots, because he's going to get punished doing that. It makes his life harder. Overall, I think Buster definitely improved. We saw a lot less mistakes. We saw a lot better teamwork, and I think that showed in us being 3-0 versus us losing out of the other tournament. Is Buster going to be the player that takes us to winning the major? I still think that's hard to tell, because Shiro is just going absolutely God mode right now. And so it's hard to know with Buster's impact of, is he going to have this huge impact when teams are executing on his sites all the time, when Shiro isn't posting big numbers? We're going to need to see a little bit more from him until I would be comfortable saying that the move was an upgrade, or this move is going to take us to potentially winning a major. At this moment, I would just say that we have seen definite improvement from last tournament to this tournament. I think the jury's still out on whether the move is the move that should have been done. But at this point, things are trending upwards, and we'll see next tournament how things continue to go. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Buster just to kind of be seeing how he's progressing. And it'll be really interesting to see if we can see more times where he gets punished more, where teams that exec B on Mirage more, how does he play? Teams that actually push mid on Vertigo, see how he actually interacts with those kind of situations. Because a lot of these times he wasn't doing a whole lot. A lot of the teams were going elsewhere. Shiro and Axile just cleaning everything up the whole tournament. So it's a little hard to know exactly how it's going to go, but things are trending upward. So I'm feeling a lot more positive than I was the last time I was watching. But again, we'll kind of see how things go. We'll see if teams can start to punish him, if teams will start to avoid Shiro in different ways, and we'll kind of just see how that goes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.